always on the clock, always catching up. Take care of you. Introducing Your Media, your podcast network that meets you where you are, when you need it, at your time, in your space, when you feel like it. You come first. Your Media, where you are. With every moment, you are creating an impression. Make sure it's an impression by design. This is the Transcript with Tshiamo.
And we're live. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, it means that one of two things. It's a Sunday, and you are tuned in to the Transcript with me, Tshiamo. Today, I am joined in studio by someone who I am honored, fortunate, and humbled to call a friend, a sister, and an inspiration, someone who has helped mold me in more ways than one. And the topic for today is the journey versus the destination. And I think once I've introduced who it is, you'll understand why the specific topic is important and relevant. But I just thought I should first start by explaining what I had in mind, or what I have in mind for the specific show today. So when I say the journey versus the destination, is simply because I believe that as people, we tend to forget the journey. We tend to focus more on the destination. So you grow up, we ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they'll mostly say, I want to be an actor, I want to be this, I want to be that. And from that moment on, it seems like your life is then catered or molded to that final destination, to say, if you want to be a doctor, you have to obviously study science, you have to do this and this and this and this. But we often not focus on the fact that the journey is as important, that at times you might fail, that at times, there will be times where you have to write that test and exam and you're not prepared, that you'll lose. 100%, that you will lose friends.
You had a plan and things don't go accordingly.
100%. And so the journey is as important.
Absolutely.
And I think with that said,
it's a way of learning.
With that said, I'd like to welcome in studio Thembi Seete.
It's so weird seeing you doing this and so like professional and so I'm not gonna say prim and prop, because that's who you are. That's what you do well. But Nje, that seriousness, and like, this is too. I'm so used to having fun with you and just doing like weird things and just like, on a relaxed mode. I'm like, damn, even the air in here, it's getting too corporate for my liking. I'm not sure. I'm getting uncomfortable. Who is this person? I man, Tshiamo, come down, man. But I love it.
Okay, so I think
congratulations.
Thank you.
Come on, stop it. Stop being serious, because that's not who we are. That's not what we do. We don't do serious. Come on now. We do serious, yes, but we know how to get work done and 100%. To be serious when the time comes, when the time is here for us to do that.
Yes, I think. And I think if you're listening to this already, you're just like lost in all of this. But this is exactly what you can expect when you put Thembi and I in the same room.
Yeah.
We are a ball of fun.
Yeah.
And I think...
But mold each other,
100%.
Guide each other, and just find a way of, bringing positiveness and I think encouragement. That's who we are. That's what we do, support each other's dreams. And you'll have an idea, I'll have an idea. We bounce it, you bounce your idea to me and vice versa. And you find it that, this is possible. It can be done. It's actually nothing to worry about. And it's really amazing to have friends like that.
Aww.
Yeah.
Cry.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
So I think let's start at the beginning, right? And I think let's unpack who Thembi is. So I think, Thembi Seete, Because I think people know you as Thembi.
It's Thembi,
and
yeah.
you're actually Thembi
Thembi
Seete.
Seete, yes.
And so, yeah, unpack Thembi Seete.
Very simple girl from a very humble background, raised by strict parents. I was born in Soweto and I grew up in Sebokeng, Vaal. That's where I got my Sesotho from. From Vaal, moved back to Soweto. That's the journey, you know. Just cut the long story short. And from Soweto, again, we moved to Hillbrow. That's when the self-discovery happened. Like, who is Thembi? What's your passion? What do you like doing, you know? And yet at a very early age, yes, I've always loved music. I've always loved dancing, but not even understanding that that's just something that I'm sort of like preparing myself. I was just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
And moving to Hillbrow, somehow it all made sense why I was rehearsing since I was 3, entertaining my, you know how Nalimugeti.
Hey.
And there will be that one family, there will be that one kid where everyone
So there
in the
was
family
you,
be
yes.
like, so I was like the entertainer, the superstar of the family. So
Yes.
for entertainment, never be done. They would call me to entertain them. But I didn't know I'll be doing it for more than 5,000, 2,000 million people at
100%.
some point.
Yeah.
But it all unfolded. Go Hillbrow, where I met incredible people. You know, I was surrounded by superstars, by Bo Brenda Fassie, you know, Chico Twala, Alex, all these amazing people that we used to follow at
That's
that time.
huge, yeah.
And that's where I met Lebo, Theo, and Junior, you know? And it's sort of like this journey, man, as you were talking now, journey and destination, to just somehow God prepares yourself, but it doesn't make sense because you're too young, too naive. You don't
Yes.
see the signs. You have no reference of the past. When this sign comes, that means it's
Yes.
preparing me. You're too
Yeah.
young, but you do it anyway, but you don't know what that is your journey.
Yes.
You're supposed to go through all of that, you know, and the music came, the dance came, I would say the blessings really happened. And even when they were happening, I was still young, not realizing how big it was.
Yes.
And for me, I still say sometimes when you're naive and these big things happen, it's a blessing in a way.
100%.
Because when you know too much, it somehow plays against you because you know too much.
Yeah.
And you don't let things to play. You don't let things happen because whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, you've mentioned that you found yourself in Hillbrow.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to create a context because the Hillbrow now versus the Hillbrow then is 2 different things.
Absolutely.
So the Hillbrow then was actually a melting pot.
The Hillbrow then was Hollywood.
Wow.
The Hillbrow then was a hub of stars. The Hillbrow then was a home of art. Do you know what I'm saying?
that
If
is
you really
beautiful.
wanted to make it big and be influenced and really be powerful, which I really don't know. When my mom and my brother, we moved there, it was just another thing like, I'm leading you there. And when my mom said, you know what, we can't do Soweto anymore. We'll have to find a home somewhere. And I found this 1-bedroom bachelor flat in Hillbrow. We're going to stay there for a couple of months until I can be able to buy a house for us again. That was God's taking us there, but we didn't really know that actually He was preparing Thembi for all of this thing. We're chasing my dream, putting me in place.
Yes.
We didn't even know. And you find yourself in the place where you feel like, yes, it's in town. Yes, there's just a lot of wrong that's happening around, but I belong here. And not that I'll do wrong, but I'm here to chase my dream. Do you know what I mean? So Hillbrow was just the hub of stars.
That's beautiful. I think no one has ever described Hillbrow as, you know, like that. Like it was just Hollywood.
There was lights everywhere, my honey. Music everywhere, fashion everywhere. Everything, the trends with music, clubs, everything that you think of, it started there in Hillbrow.
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps. Because now I'm just like, I wish I was there. And, you know, you just mentioned how, you know, for your mom, it was a situational
It was
thing.
a situation.
It was a circumstance to
It
say,
was
I can't do this, but there's this.
Yeah.
And for you, on the other hand, it was, this is your next level.
Yeah.
This is
And I didn't even know
where you're going.
But I knew that it was the right move. She told me, and then I said, that's the right move.
You know?
like, what do you know about Hillbrook? But I was excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think, and it's so important to acknowledge that the fact that, you know, when we look at destiny, or when we look at, you know, the journey, is you'll find yourself sometimes at the right place at the wrong time. And by the wrong time, I mean, for you, you
The
don't
wrong
know.
situation, the
Yes.
uncomfortable situation,
100%.
but it leads you to the right place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So what has been, you know, from that time on, so maybe now, what has been the uncomfortable situations which have propelled you to your next greatness? Like when you sit down,
The uncomfortable situations that I experienced there.
yes.
I think the stereotyping of a place, you know, even then you'd mention Hillbrow and people will still say, "Usilali the prostitute." You know,
Yeah.
Mataweng, the klapong, and not understanding that
Mm.
I have a guardian with me. I have
Yes.
God with me. I have this one person that she's so strict, but you know, she's in check as well. Yes, I get and say, I'm going to do homework, Khanti, I'm going to rehearse. And she'll see right through me. But just that discipline I had, because having that guardian, having that God with me, which is my mom,
Yeah.
it really helped a lot. So a lot of people really, they boxed Hillbrow into like a place here, Satan, you know, and it wasn't that. It really depends on who's there with you, who's supporting you, who's backing you up. And also, it depends on you as a person.
Yes.
You know, I don't know how to describe this in English, but kinaleletswalo, nyembezo,
Yeah.
you know, and I would
Conscious.
conscious. Yes, that's what it is. I'll look at myself in the mirror. I don't want to disappoint myself. I really don't want to disappoint my mom, because already she has gone through a lot. And us being here, it's a sacrifice. I have to really make something. I have to do something to support her, to support my brother, and also to support myself. At that time, that age, I was already taking myself to school. That time, at that age, I was already supporting Moachi. At that time, at that age, I was already supporting my mom, my home.
But so what is this time and age? Like, how old were you?
I think I was around 15, 16. I was really young, because when Boom Shaka started, we were about 16. Do you know what I mean? So I was probably 14, 15. And when Boom Shaka was like already like pushing, I was 16, 17. So it was really early age. So I was forced to grow up fast, because I could even see the situation. I was part of that situation. And the growing kind of happened automatically. I didn't really wire myself. It's like, now it's always responsible. It just happened because I could see the situation. So that whole NT happened with myself and Lebo, performing Go-Carlton Center, talent shows, beauty contests, and then you get $200 there, which was a lot of money. $100.
Wait,
$50.
so are you saying Boom Shaka actually started like? So I think I've always wanted to understand.
Before Boom Shaka, it was Thembi and Lebo only.
How did you and Lebu?
How? Do you want to know that story? Okay, I'm going to try to cut it short as much as I can. So every Saturday when I was in Dobsonville, Soweto, I get it after Sibuking, we had to move to Soweto because she bought a house with my stepdad.
Yes.
Siete. Okay, fine. So every Saturday I'll go for rehearsals elsewhere, like dance and all of that, just keep myself busy. But other Saturdays I'll go to town after school to go and record with a guy called Ozzy. You know, Ozzy had this studio and a very nice setup at that time. And I sort of like, Ozzy was just around, you know, it's the guy that I knew from school and all of those. So he owned a studio. And there's a point where he said, you know what, Thembi, you have to meet this girl because she's just like you. Her energy, her voice. She is a powerhouse. I'm telling you, if she starts singing, you're going to cry. And now as like a hip hop Debret, well, not Debret at the time, but hip hop, MC Light, you know what I'm saying? Patra. I was Janet Jackson, you know.
See, I've always said I see Janet with you.
The move, I was just on point. Yes. And this is like, if you can be friends with this girl, you're not gonna let her go. And then I was just like, you know what? Instead of me coming on Friday after school, I'm gonna come on Saturday to meet this girl. That's how I met Lebo. Very shy, very reserved, From Mahayeng, I could tell, okay, I still need to groom this girl.
Because we know
yeah, my mom was just like, you know.
And
then I'll be like I was the one for what? Man, I can dance, I can do this, thinking I'm more talented than you. You don't even know. Yeah. I was thinking like, you don't know, you know? And then I just sing. This is me. I've always had this personality and I sing, you know? Just making myself Mistress Nyana, like a Tisha Nyana, you know? And then she sang. That was over. It was over. I was just like, you my friend.
No option. We're not talking about it. This is what it is.
You are my friend. Yeah. And she sang. Our friendship started there. Our sisterhood started there. My right hand man, like, you know, it's like that energy. It was just too much. And I had a little bit of money and I was like, let's go buy ice cream, go make plane. And now I'm going to buy you a gin. We went to LA jeans and then we bought ice cream. And then it was up and off Small Street singing. You don't like nobody. You don't like, you know, we're just singing SWV, all these songs. And that was it. And I invited her for rehearsals, getting her to dance more, getting her to sing more, you know. She wanted to, not that I made her to sing.
Yes.
But the shyness needed to go.
Yeah.
You
needed her out.
You know? And that was the start of a miracle. And then we formed a group called LNT. But at that time, it was LMT, Thembi, Mabatu, and Lebo. Okay. And then Mabatu decided to leave us. So it was LNT afterwards. That's how I made a little bit of money.
I don't think I've ever heard that story before.
You've never?
No.
And it's like so chopped. It's edited. If you like,
but it's so beautiful.
Is it clear?
It's clear.
I've edited that story, but that's the gist of it.
But do you see, for me, what stands out for me is how, again, you know, destiny put you in a place with this, the guy with the studio is the one who sees you and says, you're good. I need to just bring you someone else to just both
like
of you.
How? Who does
do you know
that?
What I mean?
That's a lot of people would say Oscar put Lebo and Thembi together. Yes. No, it was Ozzy. It was Ozzy. You know? It's just that Oscar will come closer because of Galawa, the recording. You know, Oscar will come closer because he discovered Boom Shaka, but not the two girls. So during those performances, when we're imitating TLC, all these groups, which I'm not gonna go to, all these groups. Then that's how we got discovered by Oscar. Arena.
Yeah.
That's the story. That's the story. Okay, while we're performing, since you're not asking me anything.
I think it's beautiful. I'm lost in and I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah.
For me,
it's amazing. Yeah.
It's purely about just, you know, the universe will always bring you what you need, not what you want. You know, your story is the one that was already told before you were born. So people had to
diary
be put
is
in place.
already written.
100%.
We're talking about this in Cape Town.
Yes.
Why we stress so much, because God has a plan already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And sometimes our plans don't go the way we plan them to. Fix that language, that one. Yeah. But we should just relax a little bit and trust. But just that comes with age, comes with growth, that understanding.
True.
When you're younger, you chase.
True.
Because you're not at peace, you're not calm yet. But as you grow older, everything makes sense. That relax. It's all there. It will come in time.
And I think that's something, I mean, I've seen you, you know, in your element. And one thing I admire most about you is you're hardworking. No one works as hard as you, and no one is as passionate about something. Like when you have an idea, you know, you go and you make it happen. And as I've seen it, you know, we've shot videos, we've done things together, and I think even how we even became
exactly.
You know,
it was a work area.
It was a shoot, and I was interning.
And you were also chasing something. 100%. And I saw this
100%.
diamond. I was just like, I was glued to you. I know I was working with Lindani fine, but hey, shifter. And I was just looking at this person. I'm like, who? You know, and it was exactly like that as like Lebo, how I
Yeah.
approached you. It's like, you're amazing. I don't know what you can do, but there's something about you. There's something that just, that I'm glued to you. What is it? What? And seeing you that you were coming, and then you started assisting, touching, putting things together without even us asking you to do so.
Mm.
And I thought there's something you're chasing, and it's good.
Oh no, I'm changing.
Look at
yeah,
look where you are
100%.
now.
You know,
Now you're like, don't
gonna
wear
get me
that.
teary.
Come on, it's not gonna work.
you're gonna get me teary. You're really gonna get me teary.
Yeah.
Whew, okay, this is 20 minutes, and already my eyes are like about to explode.
It's okay.
So okay, fine. So now you it's just you and Lebu, and all of that is happening. And now, how do the two boys come about?
Okay, so just to cut the long story short, one of the performances, L&T performances, we have this huge competition in Arena. It was a club at that time in Hillbrow, and it just so happened that evening or that afternoon, because clubs then would start at 3 in the afternoon.
Yo,
Yes,
not at 3.
I'm telling you. And when you go inside, it's like night.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So we had, obviously we were young. There's no way you'll have a talent search or talent competition at 3 a.m. or 9.
Yes.
Especially when Uliwana Rebecca.
Eh.
3 a.m.
And that's another thing. Is I've met your mom, and it's
Yeah, it's just like that woman gave me hell all my life, and I'm grateful for that, you
Yeah.
know? So that afternoon we had a competition. It was boom, it was L&T, it was Majans, all these people. Majans, L&T was Lebo and Thembi, Majans, the guys from Galawa, you know, Theo was one of them. Theo was dancing with those guys. You know, we didn't even know Theo then. It just so happened that Prophets of the City, which is Junior's group, was also there.
Okay.
From Cape Town. You've heard of Prophets of the City, right?
No.
Junior's from Prophets of the City in Cape Town.
Okay.
One of the best groups, or used to be the best groups in South Africa, international. And it just so happened we are all there. But obviously, Bona, they were already established. It was just me and Lebo and Theo with his group, but we didn't even know Theo. And then it just so happened that Oscar was there, DJing. Very young.
Okay.
With Christos, with Da Vinci, with all the guys that you know that are still DJing even today. So Oscar was the one who played the music. I like to move it.
Yes.
You don't tell me you don't know the song.
I'm not
I still hear the song and I love it. That's me and Lebo, and we killed it. We performed and we won that night. We came number 1. And obviously, when I hear the story, Junior approached Oscar. He's like, who are these girls? And Oscar was like, hey, these girls is Thembi and Lebo. Lebo can blow, Lebo can sing. And the other one, she loves hip hop and she can dance. And she's, you know, describing us. It's like, but I'm working on my solo album, you know, and I want a female vocalist. And it's like, no, my brow, talk to Lebo, you know. And Oscar spoke to Lebo, and Lebo was like, oh, I can do it, but I can only do it if you bring my friend along, Thembi.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. And
Look at that.
we started working with Junior. We started only performing with Junior. It just so happened that Lebo and Theo hooked
up.
Entanglement. They hooked up. They loved each other. They dated, to cut the long story short, for 6-7 years. It was a proper relationship. But early days before the relationship, hey, Thembi Jr., I have this guy. He looks like Tevin Campbell.
And he did.
He can sing. He's beautiful. He can dress. I think he needs to be a part of the group, but we don't know, Guti. They were really doing each other. We didn't know they were already spicing each other. And we saw Theo and he sang. And to find out that I was also in the same school with Theo, Centurion College, I wasn't even aware.
How?
Like, you know, it's just like, but I've seen this person, you know? I've seen, like we're in the same school, and now it's
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
just to shorten the story, but that's how we came together.
See, this is beautiful because
Yeah.
for me, it's just like you think, oh, they just said you.
No,
It's
no
coming. Let's do
auditions,
this.
no idols here.
You know?
It just happened.
It's fate. It's
It's
destiny.
fate, yeah.
Sure. This is beautiful.
And our first single, Makwere Kwere.
Yes.
Kwere Kwere. That one, Makwere Kwere, was really inspired by the fact that Junior and Oscar, they're both from Zimbabwe. And obviously then people used to be called Makwere Kwere if you're from the other side of the world.
100%.
And Lebo was the one, the backing vocalist, now was a dancer there. There's no hip hop there. And then It's About Time kind of came right after Theo joined us. So It's About Time, we just invited to a show by Christos Kostochelo in Pretoria. We didn't have a song. We wrote It's About Time on our way to the show. We didn't even have a name. That's how Boom Shaka was born, when we were on our way to the show.
Oh my.
Like, we used
This
to
is
say,
epic.
every time when Asha sings, he will call his name. He will say, Asha, Asha, Asha.
Yes.
We have to have a song that will say Boom Shaka,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And then Junior came up with It's About Time. You listen to us, to Boom Shaka. That's how. And then it was just a matter of verses,
Also,
verse. And then, but the chorus was already there. The chorus was already there.
But do you see how, like, when you enjoy, or when you living in the journey,
Yeah.
or when you're on the journey, when you focus, as much as you have the destination, the journey is as important. because
Absolutely.
Look at how everything is just all the pieces
fell
are
into
just falling
place.
into pieces.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
So now Boom Shaka's out. This is now 93,
94.
94.
Yeah.
And at the time, the country's like
The country is going through just a lot of changes,
When did you
Mandela-
realize? When did you realize, like, I'm no longer in arena?
in the club.
Like, yeah, I'm no longer performing. Like, I'm no longer. I'm now big. I'm I'm the person I used to look up to.
Yeah. I mean, we were just way too busy to even realize how big we were. All we wanted was to perform. All we wanted was to be happy and to make people happy. Yes, it was emotional seeing people crying for us, and some people getting hurt because we were on stage, and some people imitating us, and suddenly there's Thembi and Lebu everywhere.
100%, because you had your own look. Everyone was,
More than excitement, it was scary. It was really scary having to. Now I'm pressured to have a car. I'm not even ready to have a car. I'm too young to even have a license. Because I can't take a bus anymore.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
I can't. Just that it wasn't unpopular. That it was like, what is this? I'm not safe anymore. That it wasn't, I'm better than anyone. That was, I have a huge responsibility. I can't even go to school. I have to push. I'm always tired. In it was more of a responsibility than, damn, I'm hot.
Which is also something that, sometimes I think I can attend to that your dream sometimes, there's a saying, if it's not big enough, or if it doesn't scare you, then it's not big enough.
It's not big enough. It was scary.
Sometimes
it was scary. It stopped being fun. It became dangerous. It became, now we have to we have bodyguards. We had Bruno,
Yeah.
We had people carrying guns around us so that we can be protected. And not that people wanted to hurt us, just people wanted to be part of us, to touch us.
And I think for me, as somebody who's, we've had lunches, we've had, times, but there's a moment I'll never forget when I was supposed to meet you for lunch in Sandton. And, because I know you and I on that level, to me, you're just Thembi.
Yeah.
And I remember you said, you'll find me, I'm in Edgar's. And I walk into Edgar's and I'm looking around and I can't find you.
Can't find me.
And then I call you and I'm like, where are you? I'm in Edgar's. You're like, I'm in the ladies section in between the rails and whatever. And the moment you popped up, I thought to myself, how Thembi, you don't have to like hide, you know. But the moment people saw who you were,
it became
the whole of it came. And my thing was like, we incented number one. Number two, I mean, this is it. Come on, guys. People left their tills.
Yeah.
And they came. And I was just like, that was me experiencing for the first time who I was with and how big of a person you are, you know, and I will treasure that forever because to me,
baby.
It was just the fact that even within that, you had time for each and every person, you know, and this is something about you.
Thank you.
You know, this is something about you. This is, to me, you're never as big as you may think you are to say hi to someone, you know?
And I think that's how I was raised, that it's important not to forget who you are and just appreciate every blessing. Because lerato la batho, when people say great things about you, it sort of goes to the universe. That's why they're saying, you know, always have to say the right things because you're planting the seed. Imagine if you're not the only one that's saying all the right things, are the thousands and thousands people saying the right things about you. Imagine how many blessings are planted already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So just that time, it's just a show of appreciation that I'm not here because ke bohlale, or maybe I'm talented or there's something. I'm here because of you, because you have said something right about me.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That is profound. That is deep because, you know, for instance, you know, we tend to forget the role of people, of others in your life.
Yeah.
You know, be it family, be it friends, be it just the community.
It's as if you placed yourself there. It's your own doing.
Correct.
And that's not true. You can't do it alone. It's not true. And we're talking the other day on our way to that place in Cape Town. It's like the reason why I stopped working with that X and Z person is because she was saying the wrong things about a lot of people, and I don't need that.
Yes.
I don't need that in my life, you know. So I had to remove that and find someone that can say the right things about everyone.
But you see, that's the thing about you, and I'm glad that we're having this and we documenting it because, you know, I don't think people have had the chance to actually meet your character. You know, yes, your character is out there in the sense that you are genuine, but people don't know that you when we gossip, it's gossip about us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We never gossip about people.
No.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's go here.
Yeah.
Did you see this and whatever?
Yeah.
You know,
that's the kind of chats we have.
Inspiring
inspiring each other, pushing.
100%.
It's like, what's next?
100%.
You know,
yeah,
and giving other people opportunities. You know, how many people?
I learned that from you. You know that.
Do you know that? Yeah. I mean, every time you say, let's use that other makeup artist. Let's go to this place. It's like, oh yes, let's go support. It's not like, oh yeah, let's go. Who's there? It's just like, we owe this person a favor. Let's just go and support them.
I think this is this is great. I'm enjoying this conversation because, as I said, you know, we tend to focus on the destination and little consideration is made on the journey. The fact that you're not even going to get there by yourself. You don't even know how you're going to get there. Some people, you know, think they're going to be doctors, and then you start studying and you realize, actually, I'm a teacher. More than I can heal. The sight of blood makes me sick, but I can still do something for people, you know? And so now, just to go back, you now have security and you're this big person. At home, you were still the daughter.
Yeah.
And the sister, the big sister.
Yeah. At home.
And how was that?
Uncomfortable because lack of understanding, not knowing what Thembi gets up to when she's out there, when she would leave the house on Friday and come back Sunday tired, and then the following day she has to go to school. And sometimes she'll come back Sunday afternoon and then her boots and braids are everywhere. And then her stockings are everywhere and tights, they're everywhere and bras. It's a untidy in this bachelor one-room place. It's just hectic. And then she comes back from church. She finds me there tired. I can't do anything. I can't even move an inch of my body because of those 6 shows that I've performed in just 2 days. Do you know what I mean? I still have to do homework. I still have to cook. I still have to make sure that the place is spotless. And it was cluttered because small, 3 people, the fights will start, you know? You know, and screaming and all of those things. And that used to make me mad and uncomfortable. And I'll go to school in the morning. I'm tired and I'm dealing with this woman that doesn't even understand that I'm working. She doesn't understand because she has never been a part of it. She has never seen me on stage. It wasn't easy. And my school years were not even easy because there's a point where I had to be chucked out of school. You know, Bedford View High, I was chased away because of these braids. And everyone at school, the black girls, even the white girls, started doing braids. And it's an African school. And then this principal, Van Nieker, decided, Tim, you must go because bad influence.
Bad influence.
Bad influence.
Or what was perceived as bad influence. I mean, it meant, to me, it would be like, you have influence.
Yeah. Why is everyone now suddenly have braids and suddenly they come out with Dr. Martens at school? And I never used to wear Dr. Martens, but these white girls will wear Dr. Martens.
Not the white girls.
I'm telling you.
Timmy, not the white girl. Not the white girls.
The white girls. And that's how I stopped going to Bedford View High, you know? And my mom will also not understanding, like, what's the fact that you were chased away, they told you not to ever come back. That was too much to deal with. I was too young for that nonsense.
Yes, sorry. And you,
was too young, too much stress, you know? And then I decided, you know what? I'm taking you to the festival, Kumabatu. You have to see. You're going to come with me, go Little Moring Dam. I took her. Yeah. And it was a convoy from Joburg to Mabatu. With everyone that followed us everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
But isn't that didn't you shoot a video in that convoy?
Yes, and we did.
Oh, yeah.
It's about time.
Yes, because I'm like...
She was there.
Yeah.
She was in one of the cars. And she even designed the jackets. She's the one that made the white jackets.
But look at that.
Yes. Even the black and white outfit, that's my mom.
Yes.
The pants, the black and white pants
with
the bras, the white, that's my mom. Yes. Took her to the Tlamoreng Dam. That was the end of screaming. The end ya go nshapaka fatuku emetsi. The end ya go ang accuser go get no sonso out there. Sorry if I'm speaking Sesotho, I can't express it in English. It's not gonna sound nice.
You're on
it's
point.
Fine. The end of stress from Rebecca. Because she had a clear understanding what I was doing on stage and the power, how we affected people, how just that experience, whatever that she saw, it made her a brand new person. She saw me differently, like still her daughter, but
and I think
daughter.
For her, it was just like, I've given birth to something beyond myself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, at first it was a fear to say, she's out there. I have no control over her.
It. Yeah.
But now she sees
because when you're out there, it could be anything. There's boys,
you know,
pregnancy, drugs, disease. Do you understand? Like all these nasty things. And she had a right to worry.
Yes.
To think like that. But I had to take it and say, this is what I do. And that's the power we bring. It's there. What must I do? I can't say I can't do it anymore. I'm too deep in.
And it feeds your soul.
And it feeds my soul. I'm the doffest, but when I'm there, I'm taller than everyone. It makes me feel so powerful.
And it does. And I think, you know, I've seen you in your element. You thrive on just like when whatever you're doing, you're thriving because you are there you're in it.
I'm present. I'm there. And she saw it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so what has if you can describe, you know, all of that in like a few words, what has it taught you about your mom, about how you look at life?
The lessons that I've learned about my mom is that it's important being a mom today.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to be present. Yes, the misunderstanding is there, but the misunderstanding is there because they care.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if you are with a parent that's not even there, that's not present. They're there physically, but they even have no idea what you're doing, what you go through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, maybe the approach was wrong, because now as a mom, I approach things differently.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But also, she had a mom that approached things differently.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, correct.
She did what she thought it was best.
And was different
from her mom.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And I'll be forever grateful for that. Because even though she was strict and controlling, every time I'll do something, I'll have her here. That I can't disappoint her. You know, when you're scared of your parent, it's not scary because they're abusive, because you respect them and you love them so much.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Which is what, I mean, the Bible talks about honoring your mother and father, but that is what it is.
That is what it is.
They've molded you or taught you all these values, and wherever you go,
you have them, you go with them.
Yeah.
But the only negative is our mothers then didn't really pay attention to what God has given us as kids. It's important to pay attention to your child and be present in what they do, what they like, what they're good at, their passion, what drives them. And that's what I do with Dakalo. I pay attention to him. I know he can sing.
Not Daki.
Daki he can't dance.
No,
he can't dance.
There's no way he should be dancing. I mean, I've seen that. You know what I like about your son is that he exudes power.
Yes.
At a young age. The first time I met him, I said, "This is."
I remember,
man.
and he was still a baby. He was one,
and I was like, "This is a powerful man."
Yes, he can sing. He can sing Dakalo. He will hear someone and sing word, not obviously baby language, but he understands music. I don't know where he gets it from, but his dad is also very musical. And then what he can do, he's strong. And I see a rugby player. No,
I'm there. I'm there with you.
And he's so affectionate. He loves hard. And those are the things that I don't think my mom paid attention to when I was Daki's age. And if she had paid attention to all those things when I was Daki's age, it was going to be easy for her to accept that I'm a performer.
Okay. So I've got a surprise for you. So I've got a segment. It's a new segment that I'm introducing. It's called The Forward.
Okay.
And, so the show is called The Transcript, right? And the transcript meaning before we write a book, before a book is published, an autobiography, for instance.
Right.
You sit with the person, you interview the person, then you write your notes. This is what we're doing. And then once the book has been published, or what is now going to be published, there's a forward, which is normally like maybe you would write my forward.
Right.
So this is the book of Tshiamo, da-da-da-da-da. So this is your forward. Okay. And I hope you enjoy it. Okay. Let me just...
In the boardroom and in the bedroom, you have to be jack of all trades, wearing a different hat when the moment arises. You're on all the time, always on the clock, always catching up. Take care of you. Introducing Your Media, your podcast network that meets you where you are, when you need it, at your time, in your space, when you feel like it. You come first. Your Media, where you are.
Hey, Tay, this is your brother Theo from Boom Shaka Boom Boom. When I was asked to do this video, I thought, wow, 2 minutes to talk about Tay. When you want to talk about Tay, you need at least like a year, a year to talk about Tay. There's so much to share about you, Tay. But I'm so grateful for you, um, to have a friend like you, a sister like you, a colleague like you. You're such a wonderful soul. You're such a wonderful daughter. You're such a wonderful mother. You love your family. You know, you have taught me so much. You might not know this, but you inspire me so much to do more and do better. You know, there's so many things that I'm learning from you every time when I watch you grow as a woman. You know, and going through so much pain, and overcoming pain and obstacles, you know, and you dust yourself off and you keep going. For me, you know, I always get motivated by your strength, you know, and you've taught me not to give up. You've taught me to um, to swim with the sharks, no matter how hard it is. Um, Thank you so much for your teachings, Tay. I really appreciate you. You and I share the greatest.
Oh my God, Theo.
So how does that feel to have someone say those things about you?
Ngiyamthanda Theo as inhliziyo yami yonke. But hear him say all these things, it's I just like sometimes you wonder what was gonna happen if Lebo was still around. You know? Like every time when I see Theo, I see us. And the journey we shared and the love that we have, and it's just way beyond Boom Shaka. It's just bigger than that. We have such a deep connection. We love each other dearly. Like we care about each other, you know?
Yes.
It's bigger than music, what we have. It's bigger than the fame that we had and still have. It's bigger than all the sales that we made, our albums and stuff like that. I think we're meant to meet, to be together, to be brothers and sisters. That's you know, it was just something that was placed a long time ago. I love him with all my heart, and I want Theo to succeed, to follow his dreams, to push. He gets scared sometimes, but I push.
You push.
Yeah, I push, and I show by being part of the journey, being part of his journey. He's busy with his furniture.
Yes.
And I push to be part of that, not business wise, but to support as much as I can, you know. So, which we need to do picnic very soon so that we can have a nice setup, you and I, so we can support Theo. But it really makes my heart so happy and so full when I see that finally he's pushing what he loves the most. He's the most amazing dresser, stylist. He knows how to take care of a home. He knows how to make the house beautiful. He can cook. He knows how to drive a home. So I think he's at the right place now.
And how do you feel about just like, you know, someone giving you your flowers while you're still here to just hear it?
It's the greatest gift. It's the greatest gift because as us people, we always wait for the worst. And then that's when you realize that, sure, I love this person.
Yes.
And now they're no longer there to hear you say that about them, you know? And that's what makes this special. But we tell each other this all the time, you know? And I was telling him not so long ago, I was like, you know, I'm irritated because also stubborn. And it's my phone because I'm sensitive. I'm very sensitive. And my heart is here.
Yeah.
On my throat. My heart is right here on the throat. It's like, no, Tay, come on, call your brother. You know, we love each other. We have to support each other. So he is also that person.
Yes.
It's like, it doesn't matter how much he makes you angry, but just do the right thing and check on him. It's like, I have to gym first for me to make that call so that I don't get upset.
Yes.
You
And
know?
I mean, you guys share years.
Yeah.
You know? And now to fast forward to say you've now ventured into acting, you know, and I think having started in 2004.
I just work, Tshiamo. Please don't ask me about years. I don't know.
But I think, you know, to look at you now, to look at the character from Yizo and Gaslam and to look at Cledis. You know, I see, as though the characters are different, but I see lots of growth. I see someone who has, and I said this to you, I said, I can watch and be like, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
You know? So well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think, you know, it's one thing to say you're doing this, and it's another to do it.
Thank you.
Do it well.
Yeah. I think it's because you're gonna venture into acting. You've done it before. Okay.
Possibly.
I wasn't supposed to say it. Sorry. But you've done it, and you're still gonna do more of it. And there's something big that's coming for you. Come on now.
Yes.
I did say it. Oh, we're not supposed to talk about it, ne? I'm happy. I can't keep it to myself. I can't wait for it. Anyway, I think the key is it starts with appreciation, because it doesn't mean that it belongs to me.
Yes.
You know, so once you realize that it's an opportunity, it's a gift, it's a blessing. It could have been anybody, not you. The fact that it came to you, that's big already. That's just like, wow. And then that helps you to pay attention to details and say, if he blessed me with this gift, I have to return a favor. And returning a favor is to kill it, to do as much as you can, to be present and to appreciate the moment, to be present.
I love, and this is now the second time you've brought
I told you this.
Present. Yeah. You know, and I think as much as we're talking about the journey and everything, presence is important.
It's important. Because
then you're not aware.
You can say the line, your script, you can say a dialogue, but your soul, your energy is saying something else. You're not there. You're saying something else, but you're not there, and you're worried about things that has nothing to do with this moment.
Yes.
Be present. That's all you can give him. Do him that favor. It's just show him that you appreciate the gift.
I don't know.
It's the way your bonsa table. So,
what's the next journey for Thembi?
Oh man, you know the journey. I had already planted the seed of being behind the scenes,
which I'm waiting for you.
Had already
we started it, and then
yes, you know, and it's not easy, you know,
100%.
It's not easy, but it's just something that
and we've got an award-winning video behind
exactly us. It just always comes back, and it's like, hey, wake up, hey, and I see it coming at some point. I see it, I think, with more maturity and understanding, paying attention to details and the small mistakes that we made. It wasn't a waste, you know. I think when we eventually go back to it, it will be something amazing. It will blossom into something amazing, because there are a lot of platforms now, a lot of opportunities, you know, and just it will be a waste not to kickstart again and say, let's take a risk and do it again.
I love how you're saying we, because it means we're together. And I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm always,
I know.
You know.
That's the push that you give me. It's like, when are we doing this? When are we doing that?
Because I mean,
because we did it. We've done it before.
Yeah.
So it's possible. So that's what's been, you know, the itch.
Yes.
Like, so we have to do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think even for me, like creating this, you know, the show was just because I had the itch to just create
something.
Make something that you
absolutely
just live,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And well done.
Thank you.
Well done. It's beautiful here. And you look amazing. It's like, thank God there's cameras, because I wouldn't want this to go to waste.
Oh, thank you. No, thanks. Lloyd also came through.
And I love the studios here. I just love this environment. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. So before we wrap up, the last segment of the show is dedicated to the listener. And the segment is called From My Lips to Your Ears. And it's simply you saying your last words. Like if you ever had to write your book at the end, to sum it all up, what would you say in conclusion to that person, to encourage them, to motivate them, to get them to read your book? How would you best describe everything that, I know you mentioned presence and everything, but how would you sum it all up to say Thembi Seete lived, and in her living she did this, and if there's anything you can take home, Skaftin, is this?
It's a very difficult one. Yeah.
I haven't answered myself.
You haven't answered yourself?
Because it's like there's still more.
Oh my word. If I were to sum up everything that I've experienced and everything that's still to happen or come, I would say it's a beautiful roller coaster. You know, I would say it's such an amazing, powerful journey. Because every time when I find myself in the situation, I would say, wow, if I didn't experience what I experienced in the past, I wasn't going to be able to deal with the situation. What are you crying for? This is nothing. So everything that you go through, hardships, challenges, tears, heartbreak, disappointments, relationships especially, I'm telling you, when you go to the next one, it's like, in now, why are you doing this? Because you've experienced the worst. So whatever that comes your way, not that you're not going to experience any challenges anymore. You're still gonna, but you will deal with them differently and they will feel different. And the getting over it will be different from the last getting over. Let it play.
Oh, that's nice.
Let it play.
That is beautiful. I think I'm going to get a tattoo and say, let it play.
Yeah. Let it. Press that button.
Thank you so much.
I enjoyed this. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah. So humbled. Like I've been the whole time, I've been quiet because I'm just trying to keep my tears from falling out and ruining my makeup. But thank you, because, you know, as I said in the beginning of the podcast, you're somebody who I have had the honor of knowing and calling my sister and my friend. And I don't think I've ever said how much you mean to me. You know, and
you say it in different ways. By shouting at me when my clothes are not okay. By being so controlling when I don't pose right. No, people don't know what I deal with. You say it different ways.
It's for the betterment of you.
Yeah.
You know, I do, and I think with this podcast, you know, people will have a different view, a different insight on Thembi. So, and I think we've in fact now shown people or introduced people to Thembi Seete more than Thembi.
Thembi, more than Tay.
Yeah, more than Tay, you know. So from me, thank you.
Thank you, honey. And I love you very much.
I love you.
And I am wishing you only the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And with that said, we have now reached the end of a podcast. I'm literally wiping off some tears.
No, don't worry.
That I have. But thank you so much. You're still tuned into the transcript with me, Tshiamo, right here on your media. # where you are. Be good. And as Thembi said,
let it play.
Let it play.
With every moment, you are creating an impression. Make sure it's an impression by design. This is the transcript with Tshiamo. Your media, where you are.